Getting money said I was legit.
On the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Moss. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play. Having leverage. Lower than the offensive lineman. Getting into the offensive backfield. Knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, it's Moss. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Winston throwing complete to Mike Evans. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. They'll run on first down. Moss. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask.
1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Wentz. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Going, and this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 21 yards away. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. And a pause in the action because the booth.
Wentz's pass caught by number 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
1st down, Winston. And this is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Here's comes the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
And again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball. 5 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47.
Oh, man, man, Brandon. Not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Stop them. They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz now to throw. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Wentz now on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us where they actually have a chance.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Winston. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, Winston. Now he's got the hook up to Moore. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll return it from the 6. On the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 4 down.
Winston now. Complete. It's Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 16. 1st down, Tampa Bay. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let me go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll throw again. Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Sunday. We own them. Hey, check Mike 45. Hey, Charlie. Check back.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still...
Touchdown, Philadelphia! 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now Winston, he's got Evans. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. A first down throw for Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not? A rush comes and they block it. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. In for the score. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
Block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block. But they're helping out, too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Hey, Haywood.
To throw, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack, but he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Good open field tackling there, a 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. The throw over the middle taken in. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? Let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. He completes it to Evans. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Jameis to throw it. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now Winston to the right side, and he's got more complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston.
Winston's pass, intended for number 24, incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To the air again with Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down, Winston. And this is incomplete.
Let's go. Let's go.
So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, Sue. Check.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. On first down, it's Moss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Second and 5 now. Winston. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. Started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's going to let it fly. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.